ufugaji wa mifugo na wengine maneno ya beehives. So ni lazima tuwe na hizo orodha ama research analysis ndio tusifanye partnership.
Wakati vile ilivyo sasa, bila serikali kujua mkulima ni nani, bila ofisi ya governor kujua mkulima ni nani, hata wakati ambapo wanapanga mipango mbalimbali na miradi mbalimbali, hawawezi panga wakijua, sababu hawajui nani mkulima, nani anapanda nini. Lakini serikali ikijua ni mkulima mgani anapanda njugu, ni mkulima mgani anapanda kahawa, serikali itaweza, serikali ya county na ile ya serikali kuu ya kitaifa itaweza hata kupanga mafunzo kwa wakulima ikiwa inalenga wakulima, very specific farmers.
Now, hundreds of angry residents of Leoki village in Githunguri constituency, Kiambu County, held demonstrations today over dilapidated roads in the area that for decades has been made a campaigning tool by every politician, and when elected, they failed to keep their promise. The residents claimed that they have lost so many opportunities due to the impassable road that has turned into a nightmare to Leoki villagers. Fidelis Wairimu, a resident, expressed how an expectant mother was forced to deliver at the roadside due to the poor roads, something that residents said they would not allow to happen again because they are demanding tarmac roads like any other region in the country.
Tumeambiwa na wazazi wetu ambao walikuwa hapa kitambo, walikuwa tu wanaimbiwa hii barabara. Kwa hivyo imekuwa shida kubwa, imekuwa bara kubwa, na wakati mwingine tuliambiwa tugoje ati wakati wa jua. Sasa jua imekuja na sasa tunaelekea msimu wa mvua, hatujaona maendeleo yoyote. Kuna mama mwingine alipata mtoto pale chini, pale kwa barabara hapa juu. Gari ilikataa kufika nyumbani juu kulikuwa na mvua na hakuna gari ingeweza kupanda. So sisi tunauliza, sisi kama wakaaji wa Leoki na sisi tunapigaga kura, tunajiuliza, tunataka kuuliza wenye tunapigiaga kula, sisi ni wa Kenya ama sisi tunakaanga Uganda?
Last year, November, I was in contact with her office and they promised us that they are waiting for money to be dispersed so that they can pay the contractor the first phase, which happened around mid-November. From mid-November, we've been in contact, trying to see whether they will prepare the BQ and send the contractor to finish now the 3.5 kilometers. That has not happened, unfortunately, and that is what has informed the decision for us to come out and speak to them and to speak to the government of the day and tell them that we are tired, we cannot continue like this. We want to give them a notice today that we will be doing this every Tuesday.
Moving on, as the world grapples and adapts to the adverse effects of climate change, the media has been cited as instrumental in amplifying voices on climate action and what the society needs to do to curb further effects emanating from the extreme weather patterns. Speaking during a media engagement forum, Aisha Karanja, the director of Back to Basics, urged members of the Fourth Estate to be on the front line in telling stories relating to climate change in a humanized, comprehensible, authentic, and professional manner, by also partnering with members of the rural population, and women and the youth have also been urged to take part in climate solutions by curbing air pollution, which has prematurely claimed the lives of 6.7 million people globally.
So our second champion was youth, strictly youth. And these were youth from various universities where we just did a campaign towards the end of last year, a campaign that we were calling Declutter for the Planet. We being a women-led organization, we take keen interest in working with women. And one of our biggest projects right now is women empowerment. And we are working with women through an integrated approach to environmental stewardship, sustainable livelihoods, and economic empowerment.
We understand that when we have this climate crisis, the people are affected are women and children, because that is what we see mostly. So we need to hear from them. Let's get the direct voices from them before even we get the experts. We hear their story first, humanizing the story, because that is one of the major one of the important bits when we are doing these stories, as my colleague said, and our boss from the editors, you realize that many at times we do stories, he said, she said. We forget about the people who are affected directly on matters to do with climate change, because that is the context we are talking about.
Let's get sporty. Thousands of residents in Elgeyo-Marakwet County took to the streets as a way of mourning current legend, or the recently deceased Kelvin Kiptum, who passed away last week following a road accident. And now, led by County Sports Cabinet Secretary Purity Koima, the residents are yet to come to terms with the marathon legend, or is no more. Speaking during the 10-kilometer walk section of the Elgeyo Marathon, leaders stated that they're going to start a foundation that will be named after Kelvin Kiptum, with the aim of nurturing the upcoming athletes.
Na sisi wote tumelia, athletes wamelia, coaches wamelia, watoto wetu wamelia, wamama, vijana na wazee. Tunaenda ku-launch Kelvin Kiptum Foundation. Kazi ya hiyo foundation itakuwa tu kulea wakimbiaji wote. Tukianza na hapa nyumbani Elgeyo-Marakwet County. Ili mtu asikuwa na talent ya kukimbia na anasema ana vile anasaidika.
Sisi tukiwa jamii ya wanariadha tumesema tutakimbia ama tutatembea kilomita 10, ishara tu ya kusema ni sawa. It's well with us.
We are going to ensure that your welfare kama wakimbiaji inaenda juu. Tayari kuna mpango tuko nayo ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba mambo ya nyinyi kukimbia kwa lami inapungua, so that tuondokee hata accidents zingine za barabara.
Right, Dismas Ndiza, Samuel Njoroge and Daniel Nduva have continued with their preparations ahead of the 2024 Magical Kenya Golf Tour, which will be held from the 22nd to the 25th of this month at the Par 71 Muthaiga Golf Club. The Magical Kenya Open is held under the umbrella of the DP World Tour and is one of the most prestigious golf tournaments in Africa, attracting elite golfers from across the world. The Kenyan continent at the tournament will comprise of Dismas Ndiza, Greg Snow, Mike Kisia, Mohit Medirata, Samuel Njoroge, Daniel Nduva, Justus Madoya, Mutahi Kibugu, and Njoroge Kibugu. Now, this year's edition has attracted 144 elite golfers from Kenya and around the world who will battle for the 2.5 million euros. Dismas Ndiza, Samuel Njoroge, and Daniel Nduva have received a financial boost by East Africa Breweries Limited ahead of tomorrow's tournament kickoff.
When my mum and dad, when I was born, they just liked the name Kip, and a very close friend of my dad's lived in Kenya for a bit, and he got me a poster of Kip, or my parents' poster of Kip Keino with his silvers and golds, and